What did you eat today? Does any of your meals include tomato ketchup, or tomato juice, or spaghetti with tomato sauce? Wow, tomatoes, that's a delicious and nutritious vegetable. According to the report, the U.S. per capita consumption of fresh tomatoes is up to 19 pounds by 2022. The U.S. is also consistently in the top 5 in the world in tomato production, while China is the leader. So how are these ripe tomatoes produced in the United States? And are tomatoes grown in the United States any different from tomatoes grown in China? In today's video, we will find out the answer. Now we go to one of the largest tomato farms in California to see the process of growing tomatoes from seedling to harvest. This is a machine used to prepare soil and raise beds before planting. In 2022, there were 231,000 acres of tomatoes grown in California. This is also the state that grows the most tomatoes in the country, with an output of about 10.6 million tons per year. Behind California are states such as Florida, Texas, Ohio, and Georgia. After the soil preparation process is complete, the seedlings at the nursery will be transferred here to begin being planted in the ground. Modern machines will be used to grow about 500 tomato plants per acre. Tomato growing machines in the U.S. have many advanced features and technologies. One of the best features is the ability to operate automatically using sensors and smart control systems. The machine can accurately determine the location of planting trees and the distance between trees. This will help create space for the tomatoes to grow and make them easier to manage and harvest later. Tomato plants need to be watered regularly and protected from pests and insects. But the good news is that most large fields here have canal systems providing water. This irrigation system plays an important role in providing water to tomatoes. Depending on weather conditions, in warm regions of the United States, such as Florida or California, tomato planting and harvesting can last throughout the year. Meanwhile, in cold areas like Minnesota or Wisconsin, tomato planting and harvesting only take place during the summer from June to August. Normally, tomatoes usually need about 60-85 days after being planted to mature and ripen. During this time, care and observation will continue, and the tomatoes will begin to change color from green to red or orange, depending on the type of tomato. This is the 70th day since planting tomatoes. All the tomatoes have started to turn bright red, and this is also the time when the harvesting process begins. It should be noted that, when unripe, the fruit will not be as sweet and nutritious as fully ripe, so harvesting tomatoes at the right time is very important. This is how farmers harvest tomatoes by hand. The harvest worker will cut the tomatoes from the plant by cutting off the stems and then collect them. Tomatoes can be sorted into crates or boxes to be transported to markets or retail outlets. The hand harvesting method is not bad, but it is only suitable for small farms. On large farms in California, harvesting billions of tomatoes by hand is a very time-consuming and labor-intensive task. However, thanks to the development of modern technology, this has become easier with the help of machines. Today, across the United States, harvesting billions of tomatoes is often done with agricultural machinery. These machines are designed to automatically operate and harvest tomatoes quickly and efficiently. It can identify and select the ripest tomatoes for harvest, while leaving the green ones and discarding the damaged ones. In California, each acre of tomatoes typically yields 17 to 18 tons of ripe fruit. After harvesting billions of tomatoes, the next process is to load the tomatoes onto trucks to transport them to the processing plant. This is how workers load tomatoes onto trucks. These trucks are capable of holding thousands of tons of tomatoes per shipment. Before we learn how these tomatoes are processed in the factory, let's go to China to see how farmers there grow tomatoes. The country's population of 1.4 billion people has become an advantage for China to become the world's leading tomato producer and surpass the US. This is the farm of Mr. Li, a farmer in Sichuan province in China. His farm is located in a green valley, surrounded by high mountains. It is the end of summer, the time when Mr. Li and his farm workers begin harvesting. In China, most farmers harvest by hand. Once harvested, tomatoes will be packaged in cartons or plastic crates to protect against loss during transportation to the market or retail point. In Mr. Li's case, the tomatoes are often packed into large plastic crates and then taken to a nearby agricultural gathering station. The tomatoes are then purchased by consumers and used in various dishes in restaurants and homes. In addition, tomatoes can also be exported to other countries around the world, helping to bring income to farmers like Mr. Li and contributing to the food supply of people in China and around the world. Did you know? China has always been the world's leading country in tomato production, with 67.5 million tons per year. However, many international reports indicate that, compared to the US, China has an advantage in quantity rather than quality. Back to the truck that takes tomatoes from the farm to the processing plant in California. You know, today, in addition to packaging and fresh consumption on the market, tomatoes are often processed into products such as tomato sauce, tomato juice, or other products. This is what happens at a ketchup factory. First, tomatoes are carefully selected to ensure the best quality. They are washed to remove stems, dust, and impurities. This process is done very quickly by hand. Next, the tomatoes are put into processors to remove seeds and skins. These machines are designed to save time and effort. Then the tomatoes are boiled in a large pot. Steamed tomatoes are crushed or mashed to create a thick, smooth tomato paste. Next, they are transferred to a mixer to mix with other ingredients such as salt, sugar, and mixed spices. These spices are controlled automatically, and parameters can be set to ensure consistent quality and taste. Finally, the sauce product is packaged in bottles and cans by automatic packaging. These machines are programmed to pack exactly according to the size and shape of bottles and cans. Additionally, these packaging machines are also capable of detecting product defects, such as damaged bottles, and even the color and flavor inside. The process of growing tomatoes from seedling to growth and harvest requires meticulous effort and care, but the result is fresh and nutritious tomatoes for our menus. Today, the United States is one of the world's largest countries in tomato production and consumption. Tomatoes have become an important ingredient of many American dishes and drinks, from salads to ketchup to tomato juice and many types of pasta. To serve the increasing demand for tomatoes, American farmers have applied many modern methods, such as using machinery to optimize tomato production. What do you think about the production of billions of tomatoes in the US in this video? Please leave your comments below the video's comment section. The journey to explore tomato farms in California has come to an end. For now, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.